Hi, Emmanuel friends. This week I'm going to play More Love to Thee, O Christ, for our Music Monday. It was written by Elizabeth Prentice. Loss and sorrow often give birth to hymns. Such is the case of More Love to Thee by Elizabeth Peyton Prentice. A native of Maine, Prentice was described as bright-eyed little woman with a keen sense of humor who cared more to shine in her own happy household than in a wide world circle of society. During the 19th century, middle-class women lived very separate lives from men, even their husbands. Prentice's husband, Dr. George Prentice, was a Presbyterian minister who later served as professor of homiletics and polity at Union Theological Seminary in New York. His wife, having demonstrated a gift for both prose and poetry from a young age, wrote books, one of which, Stepping Heavenward, sold over 200,000 copies in the U.S. alone. Prentice also had an important yet difficult domestic role. For much of her life, she lived the life of a near invalid, her body often racked with pain. It was during these times that she had to refocus her understanding of her own value and worth from doing to being. I see now that to live for God, whether one is allowed ability to be actively useful or not, is a great thing, and that it is a wonderful mercy to be allowed even to suffer, if thereby one can glorify Him. More Love to Thee emerged out of a time of personal tragedy. During the 1850s, the Prentices lost a child, and shortly thereafter a second. Through her grief, she confided in her diary, empty hands, a worn-out, exhausted body, and unutterable longings to flee from a world that has so many sharp experiences. Inspired by Sarah Adams' hymn, Nearer, My God, to Thee, Prentice began to write her own hymn in an almost identical metrical pattern. She had been reflecting on Jacob's struggles in Genesis 28:10-22, and found Adam's hymn on this same theme to be of comfort. In the Genesis narrative of Jacob's experience at Bethel, Jacob, who was a traveler, found a stone for a pillow one night, had a dream of angels ascending and descending a ladder. Following his dream, he built an altar at Bethel out of the stone on which he had slept and anointed it with oil. Prentice completed the 4 stanzas of her hymn in a single evening, but never showed it to anyone for 13 years. Finally, in 1869, the poem appeared in leaflet form, and in 1870 was published for the first time in a hymnal, Songs of Devotion for Christian Associates. a good week.